You know, very simply looking at the two, just being obsessed with wanting more money, which could be the case for some of you. So from lay vampire thirst, craving, compulsion, and obsession. And then from chakra wisdom, you pulled abundance. And, you know, it's not bad. It's just that when you're looking at thirst, this is like really wanting something really badly and not really being clear on how to obtain it. With abundance, like I said, this could have to do with money. For some of you, it's really about you needing to change that conversation that you have with yourself about money. But it's also about abundance through gratitude and releasing regret and being good with money. Now, the card at a glance says, if I could find it here we go. One choice may be wise, the other foolish. Choosing well may involve temporary sacrifice in order to gain your desires. Remember that you can always make a new choice. I just think that some of you are really wanting something badly. You may be lacking in abundance right now, or you may be craving that abundance. Here we go, Sag. Here's your overall for the week. The Magician, manifesting that cool ass shit. Yes, yes. And you can manifest that abundance, hell yeah. I like the Magician only because, you know, aces are great when they show up, but like I've always said, they don't mean anything if you don't do anything with it, right? And that's really where the Magician comes in, manifesting what you want, what your desires are. You know, you have what you need to do this, but it's also about being confident in your ability to manifest the things that you want. So, and thinking big, right? To me, it's like pulling from the mind of the divine and bringing it down to earth and wanting to make it manifest. Now, in the past, the Six of Pentacles, and yeah, so there may be some money issues for some of you. Now, you know, to me, this almost feels like for some of you, you may still be needing some assistance to get something going. You know, now on the other hand, you may be giving that assistance though, right? With the Six of Pentacles, you're either the beggar or you're, you know, the one that's being charitable. And it is also about the equal give and take here, but I feel like needing assistance. Oh boy. All right. So in the present, the Seven of Cups, you know, there is something clearly here that you're wanting. With the Seven of Cups, there's not a whole lot of clarity though. I mean, you know what the best choice is for you, but there are so many other things that I think that you're wanting to create, but needing the assistance to make it happen. But I'm waiting to see what we're fantasizing about. And, you know, I like it. I don't feel bad about it. I actually feel good about it. The Three of Cups. The Three of Cups in future conditions, this to me feels like, you know, getting support. Getting that support that you need, right? To help you create the things that you have been thinking about, you've been daydreaming about, the things that you're wanting to manifest. I like it. I like the Three of Cups. These are the people who actually give a shit about you. You know, I'm not seeing this as like a third party situation or anything like that. But you lead into celebration though too, which is interesting to me coming out of the Seven of Cups. You know, but I still see that assistance coming through with the Six of Pentacles, which is good. Your best path to follow. The King of Wands. I love this King of Wands just because of that lion. He looks so happy. So your best path to follow is to be you. I've always seen the King of Wands as Sag anyway. Now, whether you're male or female, it's just asking you to be more confident and be more adventurous, you know, and be wise about where your passions are leading you, right? But, you know, confidence seems to be the big theme. But I do like this. I feel like for some of you, you know, you need to, you know, not so much act like the Knight of Wands, but, you know, there's wisdom here, right? But still needing to go forward with passion and excitement here. You know, some of you look like you have a really big idea. Something you're wanting to work on here, but needing the support of others to actually get it going. But like you have the mojo to do it, right? Okay, in your environment, the Eight of Cups, there may be some things that you need to walk away from in terms of fantasies. And you need to pick something here and go with it. You know, I mean, you do have support definitely coming through on both sides here with the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, with the Eight of Cups. You know, if you're wanting to start something new here, then maybe you shouldn't be continuously giving into the things that aren't working for you or not giving you what you need, right? Like, I'm not feeling really heavy around this. I'm actually feeling like this is okay. I just think that there are so many different things that you may be, you know, obsessing about or craving or wanting. But there's some that need to be walked away from here because they're not going to give you what you need. You know, and then not only that, but if you're needing assistance to get something going here, you can't keep giving to a situation that's no longer fulfilling you. Your hopes and your fears, the Five of Swords. I feel like you may be worried about somebody taking advantage of you. And I don't know why that keeps coming up for me with the damn Five of Swords. Now, you know, this one clearly shows, you know, the betrayal, the backstab, right? Somebody who, you know, took what they could from you and then left. And you're fearing this or having to continue to deal with this, especially if you've dealt with this before. You know, I don't so much feel like you're needing to, you know, prepare to fight. Because I look at this as it's already happened. You know, this is something that you've already been through and you don't want to have to go through again. It seems to be continuous. And you guys aren't the only ones dealing with that. But I still do feel like you have support. You have support for you when it comes to wanting to do something different. You know, because this looks good to me. Even with the Six of Pentacles coming through, this is what throws me off. You know, and you continuing to give to a situation where you've already experienced this and then constantly fearing it happening again. With the Two of Pentacles, first of all, you're talking about somebody who is trying to get some balance or is balancing too many things out. To me, when I look at the Two of Pentacles, I think of somebody who is like in the balancing act, but they need, you know, inner balance. You shouldn't have to be in this juggling act. Now, you know, with this deck, like I've said before, she's actually happy doing this, and that's the way it's described. But you could be dealing with a person who is juggling two different situations and they need to figure it out, or you do. Now, with the Three of Swords, right, like, stop doing the balancing act with the heartbreak. You know, this feels like what you've been through. And I think that for some of you, and I've been getting this a lot too with the Two of Pentacles, you've been too, like, easygoing with other people, but then leading to heartbreak. But then with the Sun, right, like everything's coming out in the open, and again, support coming through. It seems like for a lot of people, there's healing of, you know, heartbreaking situations. Things coming out into the light, right? Like no longer giving into this anymore. You know, this looks good. It feels better, but you're going to have to make a choice here, apparently. And again, you go right back to the Two of Pentacles, you know, making a choice on what you do. You know, do you continue to do the balancing act and, you know, balance out the fact that there was heartbreak possibly involved with a person? Or do you start something new here, a new beginning? Right? Seeing things go better for you and another person, but you're going to have to make the choice to do that. That's interesting to me. You know, I think that, you know, for some of you, it could definitely be that, and I hate saying this because, I don't feel like that. Like, I don't, not looking at the initial run. But, you know, if there were other people, that's not going to be, you know, anything that's kept hidden. But I think that the Sun is something different. You know, getting to a place of better energy, clarity, understanding. but you're still kind of stuck on needing to make a choice here. And it may be because you're fearing having to go through this again. Because I'm looking at this as what's going on in the present moment, and you needing to stop giving into the fantasy and needing to choose a different option. But that may be hard to do if, a person is still being persistent, but then you have heartbreak surrounding them. And that may be why you're needing to get control over your emotions here when it comes to this. And being being more adventurous, being more enthusiastic and exciting and fun and everything that you are, getting your mojo back, so to speak. All right. So for those of you who are single, unrequited love, there's not enough there. And then you have somebody who's trying to force another person into an uncomfortable position. But, again, they're just looking to get what they want from you, right? The devil in the background looking at the Five of Swords. If this is you, don't allow somebody to push you in an uncomfortable spot or make you feel like you need to do something that you're not comfortable with. That is what the Eight of Swords is about. If you don't feel like there's enough there, then, you shouldn't be forcing it either. But I feel like this is for some of you who feel like somebody is like trying to push you into, doing something just because they want something from you. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, stay optimistic about your love life. And then you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah. I'm just as iffy about him with this deck as I am with normal tarot. This is about an encounter. Somebody who is like paying attention to you and wanting to, have an experience with you. But I wonder if, especially if you're dealing with a water sign here, with the King of Cups coming out, if you're not worried about, where this person's emotions are. And it could be that with staying optimistic here, you may have them come through and try to have a better connection with you. It's possible, but I don't know. I'm iffy on the Knight of Cups there. But either way, Sag, coming out of this, it's all about you having confidence in yourself and having the support that you actually need, rather than continuously giving to something that just seems like it's a fantasy. It just doesn't ever happen. It's not going to give you what you want. It may have to do with this person coming through. But, coming out of this, again, it's really up to you, Is it something that you've been craving and wanting? Are you lacking in abundance in not just financially, but in other areas of your life? And considering going back to a situation where you've been, hurt before is what it looks like. But really, it's up to you, Sag, on what you do with this. All right, Sag. So, the underlying energy for me on this is really about you. It's really about you needing to be confident in starting something new for yourself. But then it's also about needing to be smart about where your passions are leading you, especially when you're looking at thirst, because you're talking about obsession and wanting something. But with money, for some of you, it could just simply be wanting to have more money, wanting to have more abundance and stability as far as that goes. But then when we're talking about abundance, though, do you feel like you're lacking in abundance in other areas other than that? Now, it looks like you have, this support here with the Six of Pentacles coming through. Now, definitely we're going to be talking about a one-sided situation with the Eight of Cups being connected to this. But I look at the Magician, I look at the Six of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups in future conditions, and I think that this is the support system that's going to be there to help you if you need it. And you may need to reach out for that assistance here, because it looks like you're continuously giving to something that is just, not going to give you what you want, but you're still fantasizing about getting something from it with the Seven of Cups. It's just not, it's not a good situation. Now, looking at your hopes and fears, yeah, absolutely, being worried about being taken advantage of again and not wanting to give to a situation, especially if you have a person coming through here, and then you needing to be in better control of your emotions. The Two of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, we're going to start there. Now, this to me, especially if we're talking about financial struggles, right? Like needing to get control. But why are you still like trying to balance out what you're wanting, having to do possibly with a person and the heartbreak that's surrounding it? That to me seems like the biggest issue coming out with this person. Now, with the Sun, again, everything is coming out, but then I also feel like this is getting into a better place. I feel good about it with the Sun being there. I feel like it's more than just everything being brought out into the light of day, you seeing everything for what it is. It's like almost like a renewal. But then looking at the Two of Swords, you're going to have to make the choice here, but do you? But that's only because you're already looking at this type of a situation where you've been giving, not getting shit back and being hurt. And again, with the Three of Swords being there and being connected to the King of Cups, yeah, I do think it's going to have to do with a person. But I think that the reason why we're looking at the King of Cups is because you're either talking about somebody who may have taken an emotional distance at one point and now they're wanting to bring that forward again, or, that loving support with the Three of Cups, because possible reunion comes up with this too, and then you do have the Magician there. But again, I don't think that it's somebody who's trying to manipulate you. I think that you've been through the worst of the worst involving this person. Now, this is only for some of you. Now, more so than anything, I just see you being focused on this. I think you want it, but this is what sticks out to me on this, But you don't really make a choice, though, either with the Two of Swords. Even though you know the situation, you see it for what it is, it's still being brought back up in a new way with the Sun being there. All I'm going to say on this, with the King of Cups, besides dealing with a person, it is also about, you needing to be in better control of your own emotions. And again, I'm looking back at these two and thinking, okay, if this is Sag coming out, then, it is about you being more confident, but then also keeping a distance, especially when it comes to being involved with other people. But then I still see at the same time, for some of you, support system coming through and giving you help as long as you ask for it. But, if you're dealing with a person, like I said, ultimately it's going to be up to you. Now, for those of you who are single, unrequited, and then looking at the Eight of Swords, if there isn't enough going for you on this, don't allow yourself to be pushed in a situation where you feel uncomfortable, because this person is looking to just get one thing from you, and that's it, with the devil in the background, right? I don't so much feel like it's you doing this. You shouldn't be, but I think that it's more so about what's being pushed onto you, and I don't think that you're comfortable with it. Now, as far as relationships, for those of you who are in a relationship, stay optimistic about your love life. And the Knight of Cups, I feel iffy about him just because when we're talking about the Knight of Cups, really where are his emotions at? Now, it could definitely be that, your partner is coming through here and wanting to have a connection with you, expressing more emotions, making an offer to you, and you needing to stay optimistic, especially if there has been like emotional distance.